So the goal of this campaign is to hopefully figure out exactly who are among the best naval civs in all of Civ 5. I have 42 nations here to battle it out on an island-based map. This should be really fun and very bloody because AIs tend to be much better at sea-based combat over land. You know, the first thing I really wanted to mention, if you're used to these AI-only campaigns, at least in Civ 5, this is going to be really different. This is going to be way more different than anything we've done before. I don't know if it's going to be a good different or bad different, but this is going to be very out there, very strange. We've never seen the AI in this sort of scenario, an island-based map. There's not much land, and the AI is crazy for land. We're going to see, by far, I will say, the ugliest borders ever. By far, ever, period, because the AI is going to do anything it can to get a hold of more cities. So it's going to be really, really entertaining. And I mean, besides that, you guys know the format. If you guys leave a comment in the section below this video, I will pick your name. I will give you a shout out at the end of the series if you pick the right civ to win this campaign. And one thing I wanted to mention is that don't edit your comments, because you guys are being sneaky. There are some people being sneaky and editing their comments last second. I'm watching you guys, so just don't edit your comments and try to spell the name of the civ right, because I just searched for the name in the all comments webpage or whatever it is. So anyways, there are obviously a few standouts when it comes to naval powers. And by the way, yes, I am starting on turn 26. That is because that's at least something starts to happen. Because the first 25 turns, nothing happens. And like I said, and like with every other campaign that I've ever done, I do tests and I make sure it's going to be entertaining. This is going to be something. I'm just going to say that. Again, I don't know how entertaining it's going to be, but it's going to be something, that's for sure. It's going to be something that we've never really seen before. So that will be, in itself, I think, fun to watch. So we'll see how it goes. But in terms of naval powers, there are obviously some standouts if you're trying to figure out exactly who you want to pick. For me, England is one of the first ones that come to mind. England. Denmark is another big one, and they're actually really, really close to each other. England, because of their Ship of the Lines, and we'll have to keep in mind who gets the Great Lighthouse. Great Lighthouse is going to be really big in this one, and that's going to be coming up soon, because a lot of these nations already have that technology to be able to build a few wonders. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But like I said, England's a big one. Denmark is a really big one because there is land there. I mean, there's not much land. There's kind of a tiny island sort of map. It's not exactly, and I'll get into exactly how I was able to set up this scenario probably in the next video. But for now, Denmark's going to have a pretty good advantage because they can use that unique ability of them not having to waste a turn going from sea to land, which would be really interesting. As you can see, Polynesia has a pretty awesome early advantage, but not they've had an advantage because they were able to embark from the very beginning. So they've been embarking and they've been doing their thing out here from Honolulu. And they've probably discovered a lot more of the world than any of the other AIs. If you're seeing AI starting to explore, they just started doing it. Besides Polynesia. Polynesia is the only one that was able to do it from the very beginning. So we'll have to keep an eye on trade routes and cargo ships because that's a thing now. There's a lot of scouts going around. I want to check on who's building boats because that's going to be a huge form of combat. And like I said in the intro, that's why this is going to be really, really fun. Is for one, the AI is good at mass producing naval units, whether that be ranged or melee, and they're very good at naval-based combat because there's nothing to it. There's no other strategy. You know, the AI is not as good on land because, you know, the AI is not as well calculated when it comes to, you know, assigning for, you know, like figuring out exactly where's the good spot because of the mountains, the forests, the hills. The AI can't really function that well. But out here in the ocean, there is no terrain modifier. And for the most part, these cities are in the open, so that's going to make things pretty fun too. So we have, like I said, we talked about England, Denmark, Polynesia. Those are some big ones, and I'm sure I'm going to miss. I'm sure I'm going to miss a few. The Ottomans are another huge one because the Ottomans can steal away ships. They're like having privateers with all their melee units. They can steal away and have a very big navy, but they need to survive in between this very closed-in spot between Babylon and Greece. Now, a couple of the things that's going on, like the kind of the format of this series, the details, it's domination only. So the way this is going to be the first series we've ever had domination only, but don't get too excited. because, you know, I've explained why I won't do domination only, because it will be really, really boring. When you watch domination only Civ 5 AI only battles like fast forwarded, that's fine because it's fast forwarded and you're not seeing how much time it's taking, and how much it's excruciating. So when you get down to 1 or 2 civs, it's really, really boring, because you know who's going to win, and it still takes another, like, you know, I don't know, 10 hours of game time to find out who wins the game. So so that is one thing that, oh, we have Pantheons, and we'll look at Pantheons, I think, in video 2 also, but for now, there's a lot of things to discuss. So we're going to be doing the domination victory only, but it's going to kind of be up to us. Now, what I was thinking personally is giving the victory to whoever has the most cities by about, whatever, turn 500 or something like that, depending on, you know, it depends on a few factors, but that's what I was thinking. We do, and it's going to kind of be up to us to, you know, to say who we think has won the campaign. So that will be fun. I didn't want anything else. I wanted to make sure, the reason why I did a domination only is because I wanted to make sure that the AI was focused on battling it out, and that's the only thing I wanted to see in this campaign. I don't care about culture or science or anything else. I just wanted to see how these civs do in terms of domination status and stuff like that. So I'm playing with 42 civs. I'm playing with every single civ except for one, and traditionally when I do this sort of thing, it's because I usually leave out Venice, and that's because you have to observe with one civ. So I didn't leave out Venice this time. I actually picked a random civ, a civ that doesn't have any sort of naval combat, or I'm sorry, it doesn't have any sort of naval bonuses, and it has, you know, really nothing to do with the ocean. So randomly, I did really just randomly pick the Iroquois popped up, and that actually seemed to be a pretty perfect choice because, one, I enjoy the Native American soundtrack in the background, and two, the Iroquois are not one of the more popular civs, so I felt like that kind of worked out when I kind of put the name in the hat. There were a few that I put, you know, like Iroquois, Austria, who are some other ones, but you know, there are definitely a lot of civs here that are participating in this campaign that don't technically get any sort of naval bonuses, but nonetheless, they'll still be okay. They're just going to be at a slight disadvantage. And what I'm really excited to see is how someone like Attila and Mongolia are going to do, where they don't have naval advantages, but they're still, you know, really warmongering nations. So I'm excited for that. Another thing that I don't think I discussed just yet is not only the domination only, we have no barbarians, as always, no ancient ruins, because that usually, you know, it tends to be a little bit too gamey for certain nations. Random personalities, so we will see randomness. It doesn't matter if the civ like Venice traditionally doesn't go to war in most campaigns. It's random personalities, so they could be the biggest warmonger ever, and they'll be okay. We actually might see Venice do the best they've ever done, not only because of their awesome trade routes and all the cargo ships they can get up and all the money they can make, but because of their unique units. Their boat, I can't name it off the top of my head, but that's a really good unique unit, and they could do some damage with that thing. So that's another very good, a good naval civ to be considering in your prediction in the comment section below. Portugal is another good one. Off the top of my head, Japan is okay. Fishing boats is their thing, though. They have fishing boats. Byzantium, obviously, with their boats as well. Anybody that has a unique boat is going to be in a good situation. Carthage would be a good choice. So there are a lot of different options here, and it's going to be tough because there is almost every single nation are being involved, and I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Now we have, I think, our first civ with the first second city, and that's I guess their first second city. Did I say that right? Yeah, I said that right. Russia has settled St. Petersburg. Looks like Germany is going to be going after a spot very soon. I'm not sure where. Now, the reason why this campaign is going to be kind of exciting and fun is because people are going to run out of land really fast, like really fast. There really isn't much at all. Oh, we have our first wonder, and it was Harold building the Stonehenge. At least I think it was the first wonder. I'm pretty sure, but that's going to give him culture. Again, it's all about domination, and I'm really leaning towards, and I'll let you guys, of course, kind of decide as well. I like to make sure that we all are in agreement, but I'm thinking that we give the victory to whatever civ has the most cities by the end of this campaign. That's kind of the way I'm feeling. So I always do my own prediction with you guys in the comment section. I'm not very good at it usually, but I always kind of put in my own 2 cents about who I think is going to win with you guys as well when you guys put it in your comment section, in the comment section below. We have the Mayans, by the way, picking up the great library. For me, I am leaning towards Well, of course, initially, I think everyone's going to pick England, and actually, they're going to get their second city down, which is cool. What turn are we at? Turn 41. Remember, we did start off on turn 25, so things are going to get moving a little bit faster, and that's kind of necessary because there's literally nothing that happens the first like 20 turns because the civs don't have the embarking or anything like that, as well as they couldn't build boats and stuff. So this is much better this way. So yeah, obviously off the top of my head, England's the first one to pop to mind, but sometimes the English AI has been known to be bad. And if you guys have been following me for a while, I mean, the English AI is really up and down. This might be really different for them because this isn't traditionally, they're not forced in the British Isles. This is not a European map. It's a random map. So, they might have a little bit more luck, but we'll see. I think I'm leaning towards the Ottomans. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Ottomans. The Ottomans have one of those unique abilities where even the AI can't mess it up. All they have to do is attack other boats with their naval units, and they have a chance of taking it for themselves. I think I could see I could definitely see Solomon with a really big navy by the end of this. It all depends though, because they're in a really tough spot in between Greece, Babylon, Persia, Arabia, Egypt, Rome. I mean, it's going to be tough, as well as there's not a lot of land near here. There is one island to the north of them, but they've got to make sure that no one else takes that because, I mean, it is going to be a race. The forward settling, they've got their first settler down, so there you go. The forward settling of the AI will be crazy in this campaign because they just have to. They have to. There's really not that many choices out there for them. So turn 44, I am playing with Info Addicts as well, and then in terms of mods, I haven't checked on that. Again, we're going with I think the best combo we've found out is the aggressive expansion AI, aggressive and expansive AI, as well as smarter AI mods. So and of course we're using Info Addicts so we can really dig deeper into what's going on underneath the surface, because that's always a fun thing to do during the middle of the campaign. So we have a few Pantheons, and again, we'll pick that up in the second video, and we'll kind of see exactly who's playing the religious game. I'm sure it's like kind of the traditional civs. The Celts might have one, the Ethiopians. This is India. But India, I think, is kind of towards the end part. There are also a few natural wonders throughout this world, so that will be fun. Actually, not even a few, a lot. There are almost every single natural wonder, I think, in the campaign have been in here, and so that is pretty cool. I think a few are not. Obviously, the Fountain of Youth, I don't think. Oh, first religion has been founded, and who was it founded by? The Netherlands. Oh, good for them. They founded Protestantism. We'll have to check on the beliefs, and we'll have to see how that goes. The Zulu have their second city, or about to settle their second city. The Zulu, see, but here's the thing, and I think that we are definitely underestimating the non-naval based civs. I would suggest against that. I would suggest not underestimating people like the Zulu, or like who we talked about earlier, Mongolia, or Attila. They're still warmongering. They still have good units. The Zulu still have their impis, which are really cool, unique spearmen, and they can certainly do a lot of damage. I mean, there's still land. I mean, technically an AI could still do some damage to some of these civs that have kind of a little bit more land around them than others. For example, I know that somebody was pretty lucky, like Madrid. Spain. If Spain has got a lot of land, there's a lot of space to land around here. If the Zulu were to, for example, land a bunch of MPs around Madrid, then yeah, they'd be pretty good, because it's going to be kind of a combination effort for some of these nations. It won't be all naval-based combat. I mean, there's going to be, I'm sure, melee boats and ranged boats out there on the coast attacking capitals. But we can't forget about land units. Land units are still a key factor, and that's someone like Denmark is really they need to use that. They need to utilize that strategy to their best ability, because that is their unique ability. And this is a good start for getting up a wonder. That is a pretty good start. Let's see if we can get to turn 50 before we have to end this video. Oh my gosh. Russia throwing down 3 cities already by turn 50. So there you go. And they're actually well placed. So Russia might be off. They are off to a fast start. And we'll have to see how that goes. Again, they need to be worried about Denmark next to them, Byzantium, Carthage. The Ottomans, a big one. The Ottomans are a huge one. Like I said, and there's a pretty big open area here, so there's lots of room for them to kind of carry upon kind of a big, huge naval force, technically. So a lot of different civs are getting all sorts of second cities down, and they're putting it really, like we thought, anywhere they can. like I said, by about turn 100, we're already gonna see this map pretty much filled up, and it's gonna be just polka dots, pretty much. I mean, I don't even know if that's the right example, but it really is gonna be just scattered colors all over the place. You know, the Netherlands are in a really good spot because they're actually by themselves for the most part. So yeah, we have the Great Lighthouse built by the Mayans, and then the Stonehenge built by Harold of Denmark so far. Yeah, no, I mean, the Netherlands are looking pretty good because they are by themselves, and they don't really have to worry about too many of the other nations there. And there's actually a lot of land next to them. We have America going for their next settler, so they should be settling there soon, moving around the Aztecs. Sweden might be pretty interesting. They might have an interesting game. Ethiopia does, in fact, have a Pantheon up. And boom, Portugal going for this pretty open land. I mean, this is valuable stuff, too. I mean, this is all grassland, which is not a very common thing. So that could be really big. You could, maybe be dealing with a lot of population. Maria could be, which is important because it's going to be tough to grow your cities in a map like this. It's going to be really, really tough. India has got some stuff too. Oh my gosh, this is going to be interesting. The Celts got their second city. Oh yeah, there you go. Indonesia is another big one. They can get a lot of happiness. They have I believe they have their, oh man, off the top of my head, I know their unique ability, which grants them more luxury resources when settling on different islands than the one that their capital started off at. So yeah, clearly they can get they can get very happy. I know that they have a land unit for their unique unit, and then I'm not entirely sure if they have a boat. I don't think they do. Pretty sure they don't, but they're still technically a naval-based civ, and they could do a lot with that happiness. They could do a lot with that happiness if they end up getting a whole bunch of cities somehow. Then the happiness is really going to help out. It's going to help out tremendously. And I think the nation to keep my eye on, or keep your eye on the most, is got to be Venice. Venice is going to be exciting because they do have the awesome economy. They always have an awesome economy, and they're going to have a lot of cargo ships going all over the place. And when their unique boats come out, if they're smart and they utilize that in like the kind of the correct way, they could easily go after Poland, who is not getting any bonuses as of right now. The Aztecs, another big one. You can go after the Aztecs. I mean, Venice is surrounded by civs that don't traditionally get kind of water bonuses, so they could have some success here. They could have a lot of success. We'll have to see. The Zulus still haven't settled. They have not moved that settler. We have Morocco pretty high up here too in the ice, but they're gonna get down. They're gonna get a second city soon. Ooh, Byzantium. Byzantium about to be forward settled by, it looks like, both Korea and Brazil. Yeah, both Korea and Brazil. It looks like. While Theodora is just trying to get away from there. She's like, I don't want any more snow cities. Polynesia. How many cities does Polynesia have? That's going to be the fun thing. There's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with all the cities because they're going to be so scattered around. I'm so glad we have the info addicts. If I didn't have info addicts on, that would be terrible because I would miss so many of the cities that are going to be kind of all over this map. Polynesian settler, 1760 BC. Turn 56. I'm like all these AI-only campaigns, I'm predicting the first wars to start to break out around turn 90, turn 100. That's when everything is going to go crazy. We might even see it a little bit earlier, and boom, that's big. If you pick Spain, that could be a big one. Even though, Spain has their Terracios, it's a unique unit, and their Conquistadors, I believe. Both are unique land units, but still, Spain, like we said, Spain has the unique ability of getting like twice the yield from natural wonders as well as twice the gold for discovering that stuff. They just got the Great Lighthouse, and that's a big, big wonder, like we said. So anyways, I'm going to have to stop right there. This should be really fun, and I cannot wait for this one. Like I said, it's going to be really, really different, and that right there is going to be a breath of fresh air. So anyways, guys, if you like this series, please consider leaving a like. It helps out tremendously. Don't forget to leave your predictions in the comment section below, and I will see you guys tomorrow.